In this video, we're discussing the art and the science of persuasion as it relates to your daily interactions with people. So stay through to the very end because we'll be including simple steps that you can take to improve your abilities. And when you come up with ideas, you'll be able to get other people to jump on board with you and tackle those challenges. So just consider this for a moment. If you want to convince your boss to pay you more money or get a raise, you have to sell them on the reasons why you should be getting the raise. If you want to convince your friends to join a specific club or a group with you, then you have to convince them on the reasons why it's great. So pretty much selling and persuasion is a part of our daily lives, and it's necessary for survival. Let's go ahead and discuss the process that people take to make decisions. So step 1 is identifying that a decision needs to be made. Step 2, gather the relevant information pertaining to the topic. Step 3, identify alternatives that you can take. Step 4, weighing your evidence. Step 5, choosing among the alternatives that are available to you. Step 6, taking action. And step 7, reviewing the decisions that you made and its consequences. So if we put that into perspective and we look at an everyday situation of maybe choosing dinner for the night. You're with your friend John. You guys realize that at some point you're going to need to eat. Step 2 is gathering the relevant information. We are in a specific area of town and these restaurants are available to us. So step 3 is identifying the alternatives. You identify specific restaurants that you can go to. Step 4, weighing the evidence. Well, John likes sandwiches, I like pizza. Step 5, choosing among those alternatives. And then step 6 is taking action. Step 7 is reviewing the decision after you went there. Did we like it? Yes or no? And that basically helps you decide later on if that's something that you wanted to go to again. I believe there are 3 main decision-making factors. It's 1, the other person trusts you, and so there's the emotional aspect of it. 2, it's that you know what you're talking about, so you have the knowledge to back up everything that you're discussing, the logic. And then step 3 is the value. If the price is right or the person believes that they're getting proper value for what they're giving you in return, then that's when the decisions will be made. Knowing that those are the 3 factors that affect people's decision-making ability, then we have to figure out how we can embody those and project those to other people. So step 1 is trust. To be interesting, we have to be interested in other people. And so I'm not saying this in a disingenuous way. You should genuinely be interested in what that person wants to accomplish in life and then figure out how you can help them get there. That brings us to sympathy versus empathy. Sympathy is basically feeling a certain way for another person because they're going through a specific situation. That could be happy, that could be sad, that could be a number of different things. But empathy, on the other hand, is basically walking a mile in their shoes to understand why it is that they believe a certain way, make certain decisions, and come to specific conclusions. If you can get to that point and understand why the person is doing something specifically, that will make you more valuable to them. And if you want to be empathetic for another person, you have to simply listen. But listening isn't enough. You also have to ask proper questions that will get you information that you need from them. Open-ended questions require more than just a yes or no answer. So things like, how did you feel about this experience? Versus, did you enjoy that? The second one is a yes or no question. The first one requires a bit of thought behind it. When you're gathering information about people, you want to meet them where they're at, which basically means you have to have a kind of general knowledge of their communication style. And I'll make a future video which covers what's called the DISC assessment, and that basically covers how people communicate with other people. So you want to communicate similarly with them. That's not threatening or over the top or disingenuous, but you do want to make sure that you can effectively challenge some of their belief systems if you need to, because as you've probably experienced in the past yourself, anytime you're confused, it's easy to just shut down and not want to hear anything else. So just make it simple for people. Although I don't necessarily believe you can always know what people are thinking, because we're not mind readers after all, it's important to do your best to try to set proper expectations. If people believe X, Y, and Z are going to happen and you deliver A, B, and C, then that can be very upsetting, and you always want to try to keep your name with a positive light and have this proper reputation. Expect interactions with other people to be challenging, especially if you're new at it. People are often resistant to the unknown, but you need to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Now, if you're a salesperson or somebody with a specific cause, I'd say 60% of your efforts should be done before you even have interactions with other people. And that's basically developing your skill set and understanding who it is that you're working with, and then going out and then working that plan. I think you'll come to find that most of your work is done in basically asking the right questions and making sure that you're fulfilling the needs of that person. If you go into every situation, every scenario with this mindset that you're working to create something of value for somebody else, then I don't think there's ever a time where anybody else is going to lose, including yourself. Still understand that you will not always win. There's going to be a lot of scenarios where you have to walk away with a loss, and that's okay because you're either going to win or you're going to learn. And learning is just as important as winning. But putting yourself out there and putting this into practice, the art of persuasion, the act of selling, or whatever it is that you're doing, will basically get you to the point where you can become successful. When your preparation eventually meets your opportunities and you continue to do this over and over again, that's going to work out for you. So if you enjoyed this video in any way, please go ahead, drop a like down below, subscribe, and then let me know if you had any questions in the comments. I'm happy to answer, and I'll see you next week, 2:30 Thursday, Pacific Standard Time. Thank you so much. Take care.